Come on, man. What is he doing? What's up, no breakfast? Come on, man. Ronald Stone, you the man. D-Champ, how are ya? Randy Stibb, good to see you, buddy. Craig T, what's up? Thank you all for the good luck. Brian Coatsard, how are ya? Minus 27. Currently sitting 23rd. Nice. Sam Burley, what's up, man? Scorching. Burned up. It's red. Erupt. It won't be there. You're gonna be thirsty. Hank, what's up, buddy? Alan, what's up, buddy? Thank you all for the good lucks. Appreciate it. Oh my God, I got the itis. I'm full. I just had 1 1/3 pounds of salmon. Oh my God. I may need to vomit. It tasted so good, but my God, that was a lot of fish. Mark Foot, what's up, buddy? Been waiting for you. Hope you like that. What's up, Dixon? Good to see you, buddy. All right. Yeah, my son wanted me to make baked potatoes too. I'm like, I'm gonna stream first because I couldn't eat a quarter of a baked potato right now. Do it on camera. What's that? Do what on camera? What? I think Mark Foot's in 2 chat rooms at one time. He's on Golf Clash and he's on OnlyFriends or something. What is that other one? Oh man. Yeah, I've never eaten that much fish. My wife bought a big 2-pound, whole side of a fish, and I cut it into 5 pieces. And I'm like, or maybe 6 pieces. Yeah, I cut it into 6 pieces, half for me, half for my son. And oh my God, my stomach is just so heavy. So anywho, I want to start this out with this account for 2 reasons. One, I'm considering it somewhat practice. Oh, you want to see me throw up? Okay. I read it wrong. I just saw you could call me back sexy. I'm like, what the? I guess that's where like sarcasm and tone don't always translate very well. Okay. Okay, this sucks. I'm going to bring the garbage can over here. Just in case. I mean, I know a pound is a lot, but it's not all that much. I've had a 16-ounce steak before. But yeah, whoo. It's supposed to be healthy for you. Everything in moderation, right? Matthew Meadows, I'll be rooting for the Bengals, but I think the Rams are going to probably beat them. But then again, I've said the same thing about every team the Bengals have played in the playoffs, so I would love to be wrong. All right, let's see here. We're setting up at plus 18. We're going to push up 5 rings. 4.2 top, 1.5 right, controlled OP. Right curl is win-based. Oh, okay, and then there's different things here. Let's hop in here and, like I said, we're playing our accounts backwards-ish. We're trying to, I'm just hoping for some good luck. But also, if I make mistakes, I'd rather make mistakes on this account because we got a minus 10. We had a disconnect when we should have had an eagle. And then I got on the very next hole, I think it was, I got a par on a par 3 because I missed the rough bump. Whew. Oh, yeah, I love rooting for the underdogs in the Super Bowl. The best team's going to win regardless. So even if they are the underdogs, they wouldn't be the underdogs after that game, right? Because they already beat them. So I don't know. I'm certainly not a Bengals fan because it could be the Bengals that, what do you call it? It could be the Bengals that keep the Browns out of the playoffs, you know. They got an amazing team and a lot of cap room. They built their team the right way. .2 and 1.5 right. Okay, 11-2. Going to be 9-3. Can't see. Wonderful. (9-3). Then we are pushing up 5 rings. And I kind of ran out of time. I was taking a little too long. Hopefully this works out. Close. The trees kind of threw me through a loop there. Am I interested in the Olympics? Yes and no. I normally don't watch the Olympics. I do kind of keep my eye on, you know, the gold medal the gold medal thing count? You know, back when Lance Armstrong was in the Olympics and Michael Phelps and, you know, all these amazing athletes that were like, I guess I'm kind of a bandwagoner. I mean, I'm always for Team USA when Team USA is playing. So I'm not a bandwagoner. Like, you won't see me rooting for, you know, I don't, Uruguay or something like that, but one ring-ish. Is this the Olympics that's going to have the stone throwing with the brooms? Because I do kind of like watching that. Ah! Curling, that's it. Why do they call it curling? It's a stone with a handle, and you throw it pretty straight. You know, it could almost be mistaken for bowling without pins. You curl it? I never notice it spinning. Like, if you curl it, I imagine like you gotta flick your wrist or something. I don't know. I first watched it just to laugh at it. And then I ended up being like put in a trance by it and actually enjoying it no matter what country was playing. I'm like, wow. I don't get it. You know, I don't get why I'm so enthralled by it, but I am. I enjoy curling. I'm not making fun of that fact. It's true. I enjoy curling, but it didn't start out that way. It started out with, how in the world is this an Olympic sport? John Boy Gaming, what's up, bud? Is there anyone in here from Europe? Or better yet, maybe even the UK? Hey, Carrie. Oh, they used a brush to curl it. Oh, so it's called a brush, not a broom. Okay. I have a question for someone from the UK. If we have a UKer, is that what they would be called, a UKer? It's been on my mind, but I kept forgetting. Great shot. What's up, Carpes D. Combs? Good to see you. We only got 30 people in here, so maybe we'll have to wait a little while to see. I don't know what time it is in the UK right now. Shuffleboard on ice. That works. 6 top, 0.5 left. All right, looks good. 9.3, 10%. All right. It's going to be 7.3. I'm going to adjust it this way. And what is that? That's less. Well, that's about 1 ring of OP. Great shot. Okay, I'm like, was I supposed to put curl on that? What's up, D-Rob? $2:40 in the morning. All right, so we might not get anyone from the UK. The question I wanted to ask is, I don't understand why they say that you have to go to hospital. Like, the United States, we say you have to go to the hospital. But every time I see a doctor talking on YouTube, like I said, one of my favorite doctors to follow is actually a doctor in the UK. His name is Dr. John Campbell, I think. And like it just sounds so weird, you know? It sounds... So I wonder, does it sound weird? Like, do they have the same, like, pause when they hear someone from the United States or another country say, I have to go to the hospital? I know that sounds silly, but, like, you don't say, I have to go to store. I have to go to Mother's. Well, I guess you could say I have to go to Mother's, but you don't say, I have to go to store. So I didn't know if there was just a little something behind that, or, you know, if it was just... Is it just the UK? Okay, that's minimum. That's close to minimum. We'll call this like 8.4, I guess. Maybe 8.5. I got the right club. Yes, I do.
Perfect shot.
Your wife is English. She says you could say either. Okay, so in the United States, though, if you say, I want to go to hospital or I have to go to hospital, you know, it just doesn't sound natural. Because we never say that. Where was I going with that? Oh, okay. So I was just wondering, and apparently your wife just answered the question. Apparently, if I was in the UK and said, I have to go to the hospital, they wouldn't look at me funny, because over there, half the people say the hospital and half the people just say hospital. I don't know. It just always kind of bothered me. Like, it just sounds so unnatural. It's something that just really sticks out. Steve Finn, what's up, buddy? Very interesting. Okay, so this is why I ask. In the UK, go to hospital means you are a visitor. Go to the hospital means you're a visitor. Go to hospital means you're a patient. That is interesting. That's why I ask these questions. I find that very fascinating. Like I said, I completely understand that I am an American who speaks English. I am not an Englishander who speaks Americanism. No, I speak English, so I know that I'm wrong-ish. I just want to know why. All right, so max plus 20, doesn't matter. We got the chart. 1.9 top, 1.4 left. No move target. I love it. And he had the same problem that I have. He couldn't hit perfect. Here I am going to go with Kingmaker because it is a par 3. What's up, Shane? How you doing, buddy? So if I say, well, that could be trouble for Americans. Like, if I'm not feeling good, if I feel like maybe I broke my arm or something, but it's not like clear that my arm broke, I'm just kind of like holding it by my side, and I say, I have to go to the hospital. Someone might be like, well, who do you want to see there? As to where if I say I have to go to hospital, then they'll be like, what's wrong? Right? Or wrong. I don't know. Why the Kingmaker for the par 3, says Dixon. Because for par 3s, I'm trying my best to get a hole in one. So that little bit more of a knockdown in the wind is helpful. And then also, if you use Ball Breaker's notes, he gives you a little chart on the side that tells you, you know, if it's this much wind, move it this many rings. And with it being a Kingmaker, chances are if I used a Titan here, it would go off the scale. So I guess it's a twofold reason. 1.4 left, 1.9 top. So 1.4 left, 1.9 top. Nice. We got a really low wind, so maybe 7.6 is 9.3. So we can do a one adjustment. 9.3 is about like there. No curl or anything.
Perfect shot.
Somehow we hit perfect. And just a bit outside.
Nice on.
Thanks, D-Rob. I was thinking in my head, these are the types of questions that kept me out of the good schools. But then D-Rob comes through and goes, you know what? That's actually a good question. I don't know that it was a good question, but it had an awesome answer.
Birdie.
Hey, curling! All right, that fish is finally starting to settle a bit. I hope I'm not speaking too soon. But the nausea is starting to go down a little bit. I will never again eat a pound of fish. Apparently that's a no-no. I bet you my cholesterol is really low right now, though. All right, we need drops on this account. Vladimir, how are you, buddy? Thanks for the good luck. Carpes de Combe says, too complicated now. Plus 14 with the blue ring, da-da-da. Max plus 10, that's where we're at. Let's go. 38 watching and only 8 thumbs up? Come on.
Come on, man. What is he doing?
Not doing a good enough job if he only got 8 thumbs up. D-Rob, I'm the same way, man. I Google useless information all the time. I don't know why. Things just pop in my head. Like, one of the big ones are, what are black holes? Are black holes disks? Or are black holes spheres? You know? And for the longest time, no one could answer that question. But now, I guess we don't know 100%, but most scientists believe that they're spheres. And then that begs another question.
Perfect shot.
And I'm just kind of giving you a glimpse inside my mind. So if a black hole is a sphere, what determines where the event horizon is? Can you approach the event horizon like from the top and bottom, or is there an event horizon all the way around it? Like, you know, obviously you need to be able to see a black hole, and we can't do that. All we can do is see things around the black hole. Because no light escapes from it. And if you aim a telescope at it, well, there's no light, so you have a problem. Most black holes are detected by suns orbiting. 8 months, absolutely. We'll get that motorcycle fired up right after this shot, bud. Thank you very much for being the best part of It's RJ TV.
Great shot.
Stop! Why? Guess we need a little bit more curl. Damn it. Thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate you, bro. Oh my God, Roger, I'm so sorry to hear that. I thought you were talking about me at first. You said, good luck, RJ, had bad luck yesterday. When I got to that point, let me finish that thought in just a minute. Mark Foot with the $20. Can we get Mark Foot some love in the chat? Is there anything else I could play for you, or would you like the motorcycle again? Appreciate you, bud. Yesterday I had a disconnect on hole 2, and then I got a par on hole 3, and then I just couldn't get it back together. And then when you said bad luck and you had broken ribs, I'm like, well, hell, my luck wasn't nearly that bad.
Nice on.
That's a good reason, Bill Ellison. Kind of the same here. But yeah, you know, I mean, I'm really fascinated in a lot of these things, like black holes and, you know, even things that aren't black holes. Like, how deep is the ocean? We're going to call this about 60%. I don't know. I've Googled a lot of weird stuff, you know, that I was just curious about the answer. Ah!
Great shot. Nice on.
Like, one of the things that I looked up recently is, how can I be on the telephone with someone on the opposite side of the world and have a conversation with them that's not like walkie-talkies? Like, I really want to know, pretend this is just a regular, you know, just pretend this is a regular corded phone, even back in the, you know, 80s or 90s. If I'm sitting here, I know my voice is not going through the cord into the phone line where there's thousands of other people making phone calls, traveling in a line all the way to China, and they hear me like a split second after I say it. You know, it's instant. How is that possible? You know, and then I found out that, you know, electricity travels at the speed of light. I'm like, okay, well, that makes more sense. Well, how did we know electricity travels at the speed of light? How did we know that, you know, our voice was going to travel at the speed of light as well? The other thing is, because it's electric, I was thinking it was like computerized. So when I'm calling and I'm on the phone with the person in China, at first, the first thought I had was, is my voice being turned into ones and zeros? And if it is, then when it gets deciphered on the other end, is it getting turned back from ones and zeros into, you know, into my voice? And how do ones and zeros decipher how deep it is? How, I don't know. Anyway, I was wrong about that. What's up, Terry Martin? I don't think there's much they could do for broken ribs either, is there? You're just kind of, you know, you just kind of got to let it heal, unless it was horrible breaks where it was interfering with an organ. That's horrible, man. I hope you get better soon. Whew. There's our Goliath. 3.8 back, 1.5 left. Red ring at rough. At bottom of +7. Tip of guide, 1.5 squares to the right. Yeah, I mean, I got fiber optic internet right now, but fiber optic that's a relatively new thing. People were making phone calls, what, in the 50s and 60s? And they were talking to people in China at the speed of light. And, you know, it's just like, how do we find out this stuff? Say at the top. No, bottom. Okay. 3.8 back, 1.5 left. And I'm still... I don't have much time, so I'm probably just going to putt. I forgot I only need one adjustment, though. 5-3.
Perfect shot.
You know, there's so many things in science that...
Guess what? I got a fever. The only prescription is more counter.
You know, whenever you do something that makes you happy, you should always celebrate with your boys. We really did this after I got a hole-in-one once. A hole-in-one once.
Great shot.
Oh, geez, Roger.
Nice on.
Yeah, I don't ever want to feel that. I thought I broke my ribs once when I was a teenager. I was wrestling with someone in the front yard much bigger and stronger than me. And I got slammed and he came down with all his weight right on my chest. I couldn't breathe. And I didn't break my ribs. I did go to the hospital. It wasn't on an ambulance or anything. I'm just like, something's wrong. You know, like, I can't breathe. I can't, you know, get my breath in. And when you can't breathe, you're like, you definitely go to hospital. See, I said it right. I don't know, there's just so much in science. I know, you know, who was it T-Bone or was it Dixon that said science? But science is just another word for knowledge. How do we get this knowledge? You know? Like, I don't know. And then I watched a really cool video too, where what they did is you take a telephone wire, right? Or not you take a light. You have a light switch here, right? You have a light switch here, and then 1 meter below it. I don't know what a meter is. I live in the U.S. It's probably like 3 feet or something. 1 meter away, you have a light bulb. So light bulb and switch, right? And then you have 2 wires to connect it. One wire goes halfway the distance of the Earth out to the left, and then another wire goes half the distance all the way out, half the distance of the Earth to the right. Then they come down and they come all the way back. So it's actually 1/2 of a light second, 1/2 of a light second out, and then it turns around and comes 1/2 of a light second in. And then to complete the circuit, it goes 1/2 of a light second out, and then, goes up a meter and comes back. They're like, how long will it take for this light bulb to turn on? And I'm like, well, it would take a second. It would take half a second to get out there and half a second to come back. And then the guy's like, it's instant, or it's basically instant. And the reason why is electricity doesn't always just travel through the wire. It actually goes, there's a magnetic field that's created in that 1 meter spot, and it goes directly from here to here. You'd have to watch the video. They explain it much better. Find the hook spot. Move over 11.5 rings to the right. Max top, 2.1 left. Max OP, max right curl, max hook. Max right curl would be a slice. So what we're doing here is the weird hook slice thing, I think. Because of that, I do want to practice to ensure that I am correct on thinking this. And I only got 8 berserkers, so I'll practice with a gator. So find the spot, move 11.5 rings to the right. We're going to put max right curl, but we're going to release it as if though it was a hook. And I'm not 100% sure on that, so that's why I'm in practice. Okay, max top. 1.2 right, 11.5 rings, so that's 10. So 11.5 right. Then max right curl, max OP, but we're releasing it like that. Did I do it right? According to the first bounce, it's looking good. No, something is wrong. What did I do wrong? Max right curl and max hook. What was my mistake there? Did I not find the right spot? It's weird. These questions go through my mind all the time. And you know why? It's probably because of the anxiety issues I have. I don't work. I'm on disability because I can barely go out the house. So I just have nothing but time to think about things. Find, spot, and hook. I'm an idiot. Wind over 11. Move 1/2 ring right. Wind over 11. Not adjust. Okay, I'm an idiot. We're going to try it again in practice, though. Okay, I think I understand. I'm glad Ball Breakers is in here, because he'd be like, did you read my instructions? No, sir. So if the wind is over 11, I need to move over half a ring. If it's not, I don't need to move it. I just need to find the spot and do the same type of hook. Yeah, I thought that was really neat. You know, that they're 1 meter away, but it goes, I'm talking distance. It goes half the distance of the speed of light. 1 second.
Perfect shot.
However long it takes light to go 1 second, it goes half that distance. I don't know. Let's see if we have better luck here. Okay, so we do not have a high wind. So it was weird that we still hit the fairway, though. You know? Max right curl, release on the hook. No, that time we missed the fairway. Is that going to be a Nirvana shot? Maybe that's supposed to happen. Because he does look like he's in max distance of his wedge. Exactly, D-Rob. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, this just says 1.2 left. Think about a nuclear bomb. How did we know to split an atom would create that much energy? You know? There's just so much to it. I don't know. It's like, I think this is why, oh wow, yeah, I screwed something up. Am I on hole 15? Maybe I'm not on hole 15. Because I am nowhere near where I should be. See, that's going to be, we'll probably go about 1.5 ball right curl, maybe more. Maybe I'll even go full curl, I don't know. Yeah, I am going to go full curl.
Perfect shot.
So what in the world happened? Why did we end up... Am I in the wrong hole? No, because my setup wouldn't be right.
Nice on.
Full overpower, full left, full hook. Yeah, I didn't see that about Starlink. I'll have to look that up because that definitely sounds interesting. I don't know how far I need to scroll up aside from you saying full overpower, full left hook. What's up, Chad? Okay, so my aim point was okay. But if we look at where I landed, I don't think more left spin. Do you get replays on practice? Probably not, with my luck. Let's see if more left spin would have helped me. Didn't I do full top spin, or did I forget to do full top spin? Yeah, it looks like I'm using full top spin. Yeah, okay, so I landed... My original land point was in the rough for some reason. I should do a normal left. So instead of putting right curl on it, you're saying I should put left curl on it. All right, I do want to get this down. I hate that I keep wasting balls, but we need to get this figured out. I don't have room to just give one away on this particular account. All right, maybe he just wrote the wrong word in there. What is this? What? I don't understand. Continue turn. Oh, I needed to do it from in here. Okay. That's weird how it takes you to two different practice things. So you're saying put full left curl in instead of full right curl, but still release it on the left side? Instead of the counter hook? Harrison, I believe it is possible, but I think it might be harder. I would check Facebook. All right, maybe he needs to have the word slice in here. Because hook is releasing to the left, I thought, and slice is releasing to the right. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully that works. Normal hook. Okay, we'll try it. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Terry.
Great shot.
What's up, Jeffrey?
Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly.
I could be confused, so if I screw it up, just let me know what I did wrong on this one. Why are you asking me again? I hate when you... So you're saying go full left. This is our setup spot. We don't have an over 11 wind, so because it's 11, we should be fine. And no, wait, is that the full right curl? No, this is what you're saying to do, right? That's what you wanted, right? Makes sense. Okay. So the instructions say max OP, max right curl, and max hook. It should say max OP, max left curl, max hook. So it's just, instead of saying right, it should say left. What's up, KD? Now that we did that, we're going to play it for real. Awesome, thank you for that. I would have been stumped forever. What do you mean 20%? This is just a point and shoot. There's no... Wyatt's doing great. Thanks for asking, KD. I think I saw you say not to use all that. Beautiful. Don't get much better than that. Thanks for your help, guys. I would have never figured that out. I would have kept trying the reverse counter hook slice method thing, and I would have ran out of Power 5 balls.
Great shot.
So if anyone sees ball breakers, let them know. And I'll do the same. Hopefully I'll remember. I hate to put topspin here. Okay, so 5, 10, and then I'll just crud. All right, 10. Oops. 4.1.
Perfect shot.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more Calvin.
I gotta celebrate with the gang, but you know what? I'm gonna let Adam take me out this time instead of leading the gang. You know, because it looks like I'm not humble if I just go out and throw a party for myself. So I'll let Adam throw a party for me. And of course, he invites all the boys.
We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip a card like it's your birthday. And you know we don't fuck it like your birthday. You'll find me in the club, bottle full of bug. Look, mommy, I got the head sucking in the taking drugs. I'm in the having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, get in the getting rough. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bug. Look, mommy, I got the head sucking in the taking drugs. I'm in the having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, get in the getting rough.
I gotta tell you, going from like complete confusion and ending up in the rough and this, that, and the other to getting an albatross is just an amazing feeling. Thank you guys so much for your input. Appreciate you guys. You could have just sat back, watched, and laughed, and you didn't. So thank you. All right, here shows a Kingslayer. Season 27 ball is basically the same thing. Top of the clear ring at the rough, ball guide line at pin, 0.5 top. Absolutely, community, and I appreciate it. You guys came through solid. Seven is going to be 8. Nice low wind.
Great shot.
Well, that albatross really helped. A drop here would have been nice too, but wasn't meant to be. Guys, I got a question. I asked on Facebook. Someone might have answered. I don't know. You see my grid? You see how I have that line going right down the middle? And then there's two lines, two cross lines, one above the other. Like one's right on top of his turkey ball, one's right at the bottom of the turkey ball. I have seen multiple sideways lines on that main line that goes right down the middle to help you aim, you know, to make sure you can make more of a straight adjustment. What is the advantage of having, I don't even understand why there's 2 lines there, let alone 4. Yes, Harrison, Constantine, it's from it's God, I got streamer's brain.
Nice on.
Material Q. But I don't know that it's available in iOS. You might want to look. I think Adam and A Relic Gaming both have videos on how to do it on a iPhone. There's probably others out there too. I don't know if Randy's behind a little bit. He said it works, use Berserker. But there's nothing pertaining to like a large drive with a Berserker. He might be a little behind. All right, max plus 0 coming up. Power 5. We are pushing up 4 rings after the adjustment. 4 top, 1.5 right, max OP. There's no curl or anything on this, so it should be fine. Just to play it. All right. Go back to the Gator. I don't know why I like my Berserker balls. Oh, did I miss another comment, Randy? I'm sorry. Okay, 4 top, 1.5 right. I know that's not perfect. 9, 8. 7, 4. And then push up 4 rings, I believe it said. I didn't see curl anywhere. It doesn't say curl. Okay. I hope this works. Oh, wow. Okay. Doesn't get any better than that. I mean, I guess I could have... I don't even know if I could have used more topspin because I was really close to going into the rough once or twice. So I could have, if I put more topspin on, my second or third bounce could have easily been into the rough. So I think that was just perfect. Brian, can you remind me by sending me an email, buddy? I think we've talked through email before. It's rjtv@yahoo.com.
Perfect shot.
Or if you don't want to wait, I would just type grid lines, Golf Clash grid lines, and he should pop up. 6 top would put me in the water. I want to say it's about a third. 33. Oh, I could really use this drop. Nice.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more counter.
We'll follow that one up with
Perfect shot.
Now that the party is jumping, with the bass kicked in and the Vegas on point to the point, no faking, cooking MCs like a pound of bacon, burning them, being quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear a beats. If there was a problem, yo, I'll check out the book on my DJ Boston.
now we're at 23. If we get the eagle here, we'll be at 25. I don't think we're going to make it on this account. I'm still pretty happy with our back 9. It was just that minus 10 killed us in the front 9. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think it's meant to be. Let's see here. Max plus 10, push up to 9. Oh, wait. Max plus 10, push up to max. Max top, max OP. Red ring at rough. At max. Cat did a somersault. You ever see those cat videos with cucumbers? If you put a cucumber behind your cat, it'll like jump in the air real high. I mean, I'm sure it's cruel, We don't have cucumbers in the house. But I think like they think it's a natural predator or something. Definitely blasting it, Roger.
Perfect shot.
Woohoo! We hit perfect. Nearly the same results. I'll take that. I got my dad a Zippo lighter engraved with Ice Ice Baby because it's not under pressure. Dad jokes! Love it! Under pressure.
Perfect
It's
shot.
definitely not under pressure. Did you hear the story about Vanilla Ice going to a party and Suge Knight was there? Who's like, if you don't know who Suge Knight is, he was like with all the rappers when there was the big East Coast, West Coast feud. Okay. Is it possible? I don't know. I'd rather be at max than try to guess.
Perfect shot. Nice on.
All right, Brian, I'll get back to you hopefully tonight, bro. Yeah, that's all, Harrison. That's all you really need is, you know, a straight line. You can even just go out and buy a screen protector and one of those pen engravers, you know, and get a ruler or whatever. It doesn't matter where that line's at. It's just used to be able to adjust more than 5 rings with the take shot button.
Eagle.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to find out in a minute, but I don't think this account made it because, well, the disconnect only cost us 1 shot. So, oh wow, we jumped quite a bit, and we're the best 25 under. So that will be helpful. Does it and it takes us to 55th spot, or the top 55. So I guess it's possible. Problem is, how many people aren't done yet? So we know Scooter's going to pass us. That's one. Cleveland Browns, love it. $16. I think Zadio's going to pass us. So that's 2. I definitely know D-Mart's going to pass us. And now this is where it just gets really sketchy with where people are at. So yeah, I'd be surprised if I make it. What's going on, Sonic? Why would we time him out? Chad seems cool. He's not causing any problems. Why can't you play baseball in Wuhan? Because they keep eating all the okay. I don't know. I don't buy that it was a wet market thing. And a lot more people are coming out saying they don't buy it was a wet market thing either. But I don't want to get into conspiracy theories that can then get us into politics. So I'm just going to shut up there. Now we did much better on this account that I'm loading now. Normally I go in the opposite order. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I know a good joke when I hear one. Some jokes are offensive to some people, but I mean, it wasn't racist or anything. I'm sure there's some joke in India about us eating cows or something, and I wouldn't get mad about that. All right, let's make sure everything is switched over. Let's also scroll back up to hole 10. There we go. So, score-wise, here we're sitting at a minus 13, so we're up 3 strokes from where we were on the other account. And if we play, we could even afford to not get all the drops and still be okay, as long as we don't make mistakes. Now this account I think has a bunch of, well, actually I don't have a bunch of Zerks. I have a few more, but I'd rather use the Gator Ball. Max plus 10, 4.2 top, 1 right. Max controlled OP with right curl that is wind based. Inner ring, mid ring, outer ring. Okay. Why couldn't the pervert cross the road? Because they couldn't get him off the chicken. I love the dad jokes. Originally, I heard that joke originated as dark humor. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. Not to get to the other side of the road, but to see what was on the other side of death. I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard that. And then also, nursery rhymes. Ring Around the Rosies about the bubonic plague. London Bridges Fallen Down was about World War I or II. I don't remember exactly. Humpty Dumpty was a canon.
Great shot.
Nursery rhymes were pretty harsh back in the day. Not bad. Not bad at all. $1.5 right, 4.2 top. I think we need to go a little bit more. Yeah, that looks right. 9.6. It's going to be 9 rings. Push up 5 rings. 9.6 inner ring. So just like this. Perfect.
Perfect shot.
Please work. Hey! I'll take it. I don't have a thing for that. Why did the punk rocker cross the road? To pin the chicken to his face.
Perfect shot.
Why do farmers wear button fly jeans? So it doesn't scare the sheep.
Eagle.
They're jokes. Okay, that looks like it's more like 40%. I hope that's right. $40, $39, either way it should go in. Almost 6. Let's hit perfect.
Perfect shot.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more coward.
And lastly, celebrate with the boys one more time.
We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. Oh, we're not gonna take it anymore. We've got the right to choose it. There ain't no way we'll lose it. This is our life. This is our song. We're right down, free down, fight down, sing it.
Take care, Mark. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Before you go, send you off in a good way. Take care, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. Eight, 4. We didn't adjust into any overpower or anything.
Perfect shot.
All right, Golf and Sonic. Sorry I missed it. See, let's see here. Cowbell? Was there something above cowbell? I've been lurking. Gonna go play for the RJTV Tour 9 or Tour 10. Is that the question you're wondering? Honestly, I would say, hey, good night, Raj. Thanks for hanging out, bud. Thanks for your help, too. Oh, above that. Mark. Cold Mark. Snow. A lot of it. Above that, I don't know. Can I time Shane out? We don't want to time Shane out. Shane's awesome.
Great shot.
You don't really want to time Shane out. Shane is the man. Ah, we can't do it that way. Damn it. All right, so 8, 6. We're going to go 9. 9 just is a nice round number with no decimals.
Perfect shot.
Definitely cool in the gang. Ooh, 9 was not the right number.
Nice on.
Oh, it wasn't about timing him out. It was about 9 or 10. It all depends on your bankroll, buddy. If you have enough bankroll for 10, I say go for it. If you don't, Tour 9 will, work. $50 million, probably Tour 9. What is Tour 10? 100 mil a game? No, not 100 mil. I think it's 3 mil a game.
Perfect shot.
I mean, it depends how good you are. If you're really good at Tour 10, if you know the courses well, you could probably get away with it. I think I waited until I got 100 mil before I went to Tour 10. And now I'm waiting for... I don't know exactly what amount I'm waiting for, but I'm definitely going to wait a little while before I go to Tour 11. Good evening, Sandy. How are you?
Eagle.
Don't put the bullseye of the target in the center of the grid line. I didn't even realize I did that. Only 28 kingmakers, but it is a par 3. We want the best tiebreaker. Everything is great here, Sandy. How's that pup doing? The German Shepherd. Man, I love German Shepherds. So what do you guys think of the upcoming 9-hole cup that's going to be nothing but par 5s? I'm not overly excited about it, but it is nice to see a change. It's definitely better than a tour of nothing but par 3s. I'll tell you that for sure.
Perfect shot.
It's, you know, I mean, when changes are made to video games or even TV shows or movies, it's not going to, you know, like, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it's always a good thing to have some change, you know? Because maybe they're working on something else down the line that you're going to fall in love with. Could be. I'm not upset about it. I'm just not like, oh boy. All right, we need to go 11. That's 10.
Perfect shot.
Do me a favor. Get in the hole. Please. Please. Oh, you're going slow. Ah, that was right on line, too. We needed like 2.1 top or 2 top instead of 1.9. I'm not upset about it at all. It's just not like groundbreaking, you know, for me. In no way am I bashing it whatsoever. I'm looking forward to it. I think the scores are going to be insane because it's called an albatross type tournament or whatever they called it. I feel like they're going to make all holes albatrossable. So expect high scores, and I wouldn't get upset because there are high, and by high I mean minus 30 is higher than minus 29. I know technically it's lower, but you know, it's for fun. You know, I don't care if there's a minus 100 in there. I know there won't be a minus 100, just saying. All right, max plus 10, 6 top, 3 right. Right curl the middle of the ring. Plus 14 is where we're going to set up. With the blue ring at the rough. I can't read that out loud, Chad. My buddy, dude, who's a poodle, is right here. I don't want to offend him. I don't want him to get triggered. Six and 3. Gonna put a little bit more curl on it because we don't have that extra click of right spin.
Perfect shot.
I think we went into the sand or the rough last time, so hopefully we don't make that mistake again. Not looking good though. Okay, turned away. I'll take it. Michael De La Cruz, how are you? The highest you can get is a minus 27 unless you make all shots and a condor for a higher score. Okay, I didn't know that. I feel like I had one of the biggest German Shepherds in the world. I wish I knew where this photo was. This dog was so big. For a German Shepherd, I was holding a toy as high as I could and letting it dangle down from my fingers. And he put his paws on my shoulder. Oh, here we go. Let me finish that thought in just a moment. All right. 5, 10, 15, 20. $3.5.
Perfect shot.
He put his paws on my shoulder, and when his nose was in the air, he was taller than me, and I'm 5'10".
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cow.
Well, Chad, I haven't seen you in here before. Let's see if I can cheer you up. Hopefully this doesn't depress you. Aki, come here. Come here, Aki.
Great shot.
Aki, come. Come here. Good boy. Come here. Good boy. Aki, come. Come on.
Nice on.
Come on, Aki. Good boy. Come on. Aki, come. Come on, puppy. Aki, come. Come here. Come here. Aki. Come on, puppy. Aki, come. Let me get a treat. Come on, Aki. Come on. Come here. Come here, Aki. Up. Come on. Up. Here, come on. Come on. Up. Here. Come on. Say hi. Come on. Can you see him? Come on up. You could stand taller than this. There we go. Here. Oops. Here, Aki. I got a husky too. A husky and a poodle. Worst combination ever. One doesn't shed at all. One sheds enough for 8 dogs. Hey Jeff, what's up, bud? I just thought it was funny you mentioned that you loved huskies. Yeah, his name is Akamaru. We rescued him. His name was originally Rocky. My son wanted to name him after an anime, which is basically a Japanese cartoon. There was a character in there named Akamaru who was a giant husky. Either he was a giant husky or he was the owner of a giant husky. I don't know which one. And I'm like, we're not going to call a dog Akamaru. That's just too many syllables. So we called him Aki. And I think it worked really well for him because his name was Rocky. He was called Rocky his whole life. So it just went from Rocky to Aki, you know, so it was probably an easier transition for him. I love huskies, but I probably won't own another one just because of the shedding. Other than that, I mean, he was terrible when we first got him. When I say terrible, I you know, he doesn't understand English. I'm not trying to hurt his feelings or anything. He ate everything. He literally ate my house. Yes, I have a wood house, and he snacked on the wood siding. I had to replace a whole area. I bought my son a new PlayStation 4 controller, which was like $50. He ate the Amazon box and the packaging. But he has calmed down to be one heck of a beautiful, nice dog. Aside from the shedding, which isn't his fault. He would eat anything. He'd eat a door. It's freaking crazy.
Nice on.
Sadie, Sasha, Solo, Solomon, and Sam. Nice. The S Troop. You're like me naming my kids. I got Alyssa, Alexis, and Aiden. And honestly, that wasn't planned per se. Like, Alyssa was just the name that me and my wife really liked. Alexis was another name, you know, but there were lots of other names that were in consideration. And then Aiden, I think we did one. We're like, we already got 2 A's. We might as well do a third. But Alyssa and Alexis weren't, you know, we weren't like picking a letter in the alphabet and naming everyone after it. You want to come back? You want to say hi again? Come on. Well, why else are you here? Come on. Come here, Aki. Come on. Come here. Come on. Say hi, everyone. Hi.
Shot. Nice on.
Oh my God, we love to make him howl. And sometimes he'll howl on his own. And we just do it with him. We say how. We're like, how? And he just gets all excited and does it with us. That's one of the coolest things. No other dog I've had did that. He doesn't quite howl on command. There are times he'll look at us like we're idiots. But a lot of the time he'll howl right along with us. And it's like he's just one of us, you know? It's awesome. Aki. Come here, Aki. 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 Come here. Maybe he'll do it. Aki. How? Actually, Golf Clash Tommy has a video on his channel of it's called the Stay at Home Challenge. I believe it's still on his channel. I don't know if it's on my channel or not. Oh, he laid down right next to my chair. But it's me versus Tommy. Somehow, some way, I ended up beating Tommy. And I was like, yeah, you know, like in the middle of the video. And then Aki just starts howling, and we're just howling together. It was crazy. I loved it. All right. Oh, okay. Now I remember this. Yeah, Chad, I remember you. All right, we're having problems with Playdemic. Let's see if we can fire up the old modem. There we go. Well, it's awesome to have you back, Chad, especially, what's up, Chris? Awesome to see you. Especially, you know, when people come back who don't even play the game anymore. It's like, wow. I offer nothing of value to you here, but yet here you are. Thank you so much. That means an awful lot to me. Exactly, Ronald. I completely agree. Max top, 1.2 left. Oh wait, 11.2, move over half a ring. Okay. Full overpower, full left curl, full left hook. I hope I did that right. Oh, we clipped the rough. That sucks. Jared A, I would watch a guy play Candy Crush if he was having as much fun as you have on stream. Jared, awesome to have you here, buddy. If I didn't clip the damn rough, I'd be using a Jared shot. You know how often they say, you went to Jared's. If any one of you guys want to improve your game to the next level, check out Jared A's channel. You can just click on his name, actually. And he came up with Endbringer School and I don't know if it was Rough Iron and Sandwedge School. Total game changer. Has taken at least 2 or 3 strokes off per tournament for everyone who's seen those videos. Love this guy. He also made my intro for me, which he didn't have to do. That was absolutely awesome. Yeah, that's too close. All right, 9-4. Still 10%. We're going to call this like 75%. So 7-9. Nope, not 7-9. Glad I caught that. 5-2. Somehow we hit perfect. And we were off by 0.2, if that. Always awesome to have you here, Jared. Thank you for the good luck. Yeah, if you've never seen my intro, here, I'll show you.
Atoms fall apart. Solar flares arrive.
There's more to it, but I didn't want you guys not to be able to see the action.
Nice on.
Yeah, I tried picking up different golf games myself, and
Eagle.
I don't know, Golf Clash is just already bordering on too much with their grids and, and everything else, and, win per ring and all that. It's like I gotta have notes everywhere to play. I can't just like pull my phone out back before I knew all this stuff. I can't just pull my phone out and play a game and relax. This is something like that's taken very seriously. I hope they come out with a Golf Clash 2 or something and fix it. And if you think about it, they really need to come out with a Golf Clash 2. They said, we did not know this game would be this popular, that we'd get this many players, and that people would play it for so long. That's how they kind of were explaining the problems with all the clubs and everything. and then they wanted to balance the clubs, but then the whole community revolted and they backed off from that and they decided not to balance the clubs. So since they can't balance the clubs, they only have one of two choices. Introduce more new clubs to this game, which are all better than the old clubs, and then they could set those up any way they want, or create a whole new game called Golf Clash 2 or whatever and change everything. Make it so like the wind rings isn't a thing. Like, I don't know how you would do that or whatever, but, and then you could add clubs knowing that people are going to play this all the way into Tour 13, have all your tournaments, everything else. I really think that they pigeonholed themselves with some of these horrible clubs, and I know you guys are here for the game, so I'm not going to go on ranting. The Rocket, a niche card. You'll use it on par 3s for its backspin, basically. And also you'll use it in place of your beginner club, but not much else after that. Extra Mile, excellent club that you're going to use tons of times until you get your APOC up to at least level 5. The Big Topper, horrible accuracy, but awesome top spin. Again, a niche club you'll probably only use in tournaments. The Quarterback, a very accurate club, but very short. Great ball guide, not enough top spin. It's either a par 3 rough bump type club, or it's like niche clubs. You really don't use it in tour play. It's more tournament play. Yes, you could use it on par 4s in tour play, but most people don't. I'm not going through all the clubs. I'm going to do 2 examples. Next, we have the Rock. They actually made the Rock better by giving it more distance. It's equal or almost equal to Thor's Hammer, but if you already have Thor's Hammer leveled up, there's no reason to ever use the Rock. But let's go with, drivers are a little bit different. Let's go with, I could pick anyone. Here, I tell you what, okay, long irons is the word that I see. Grim Reaper, unless that was the first club I unlocked from the beginner club, never used it. I used the Backbone. I used the Goliath when I needed to. I used the Backbone 99% of the time until I got the Saturn. Then I started using the Saturn. The B-52 takes forever to upgrade, and not until it hits level 7 are you ever going to use it. Once your Goliath, I think, gets to level 8, you can start using it over the Backbone and the Saturn. But then once you get your Grizzly maxed up, it's going to be a tie between the Grizzly and the Goliath forever. So this is actually a bad example because there are a lot of good clubs to use. The B-52, once you get more gray hairs or lose your hair, or just become 15 years older, you'll eventually get that up enough to where you can, make it usable. And the Tsunami, I'm probably never going to use because of the lack of ball guide, but also a great club. But if we just go down one, never use the Apache, never use the Kingfisher, never use the Runner. Love the Thorn. Would love the Hornet, but because of the Thorn, there's no reason for it. Never use the Claw. The Claw's not a bad club, but I prefer the Thorn. And then the Falcon is going to be the best. There's just so many useless clubs. And if I were to go through others, I'd probably find other categories that, there's a lot of useless clubs that no one would ever use. Or if they do use it, they're like 1 in 1,000. So bring on Golf Clash 2. What's up, Bosco? I have said the same thing. Every club has their purpose, just some less than others. That is true. Some less than others is the problem, though. You have this club that's used by 99% of the people who play, and then all the other clubs generally, maybe not 99, maybe 95, all the other clubs are niche clubs. Tournament shot. Or, maybe you don't have a certain club upgraded enough to where you have it, or maybe you're using beginner clubs and you didn't get other clubs unlocked. You're just pigeonholing yourself. I'm not saying the Claw is a bad club, but real quick, just because so many people say the Claw, I know you're like, RJ, come on, we're not here for this crap. But all right, so Falcon level 7, which it does go up to level 8, but we'll just compare it here because I've had the Thorn forever. You get 2 less yards. What is that? You're like 2 less yards. That's nothing. But to me, I don't say it's nothing because that'll give you a gap between your short iron and your long iron. It won't be a very big gap, but it's still something that's there. Accuracy, yes. Accuracy 80 versus 57, definitely in favor of the Falcon. As a matter of fact, I switched from the Falcon to the Thorn, but not until it got to level 7. The only reason I'm not using it now is because the notes are all done for the Thorn. Top spin, great top spin. You don't have enough back spin to do that comeback shot, but 78 is more than enough. You get more curl and you get a better ball guide. So I guess this was probably, it wasn't even the Falcon, it was the Claw, he said to compare it to. Sorry. So 87 yards, 3 yards less. Sure, it does have better accuracy, but regardless, if you hit great, you're going to miss with both. You do have more top spin, which is nice. I mean, you don't really use too much top spin on your iron shots. You'd probably just go with back spin with a long iron. Both of them have basically the same back spin. You get more curl with the Claw. You don't use curl very often at all. 99% of the time, you'll use 0 curl when you're using a short iron. And then my biggest problem with it is a 3.2 versus a 4.4 ball guide. If it had a better ball guide, I might be interested in it. All right, I've yapped enough. I'm sorry. We're so close to the end. You guys are like, RJ, stop ranting. Just play the damn game. Harrison, yes. I say the Thorn is way better than the Hornet because of the ball guide, and the accuracy is not as important. Why do I say that? I'll tell you right after I take this shot. Well, basically, if you hit great, you're going to miss with both clubs. If you hit perfect, you're going to make it with both clubs. It's like, 8.5 is 9.7. Now, sure, I have hit great shots that went in the hole. But whenever you hit great and get it in the hole, you messed up on your adjustment somewhere. So that's pretty much dumb luck. It'll even itself out based on whether, if you use the Thorn, which is more accurate, well, then you just made a slightly smaller mistake. But the ball guide, to me, is everything, because you can definitely chip in with the Thorn. I want to know, I want the best ball guide I can get on a short iron, just like I want the best ball guide I could get on a wedge. 50% accuracy for a short iron really doesn't matter because you're never going to overpower your short iron. So you're going to at least hit great. So you'll at least be in the vicinity. Sure, it'd be nice to hit perfect and get the hole in one, but even with a, I would not even just a Thorn, but even the wedge, you're going to drop less than 50% of your shots. Some of your wedge shots are going to be at 100%. Jared's shot method won't work because Jared's shot method only goes it only goes up when you stretch the thing out. Sometimes you'll be in wedge and you'll have to either put a little top spin or back spin, but if you were to stretch it past the hole, it would switch over to Thorn. So there's still a lot of times you'll be in max, max Endbringer, and you're just very rarely going to drop those.
Birdie.
Michael Russo just said no. I mean, yeah, so if you take your shot with the Hornet and you hit great, and I take my shot with my Thorn and I hit great, you're going to have a shorter putt. But who cares if your shorter putt is going to be 2 squares away from the hole and my shorter putt is going to be 3 squares away from the hole? They're still super short putts. All right. Now, is everything I say gospel? No. Maybe Michael Russo's going to say something that, you know, proves me wrong. I don't know. Maybe he's not. But if he does, you know, I'm not Tommy. I'm not Neo. I'm not Jared. I'm not these top of the top echelon players that know every tip and trick. I'm sure there's a lot of people smarter than me. But through my vast experience of 4 or 5 plus years playing, 4 years plus, 5 years, I don't know, playing this game, that is precisely why I don't use the Hornet. If you hit great and you set it up perfectly, you're still going to miss. It doesn't mean it's going to get in the hole and just kind of, you know, go in on the left side or the right side. I guess Michael Russo has nothing else to say, just no. Okay. I was waiting for him to respond or reply, but it's okay just to disagree too. I mean, if you play better with the Hornet, by all means, use the Hornet. You know, if it's even just a mental thing. Push up 4 rings, 4 top, 1.5. All right. Yeah, but you see what you put in there, Golf and Sonic, with funnels. If I hit great with a funnel, well, first of all, very few funnels, I think very few funnels are short iron funnels. I think there's more wood funnels. There's not that many long iron funnels, but, you know, funnels are... I'm sorry, I can't talk and play at the same time on certain things when I need to use my brain. And push up, what, 4 rings, I think it said? Yep, push up 4 rings. Okay, so yeah, funnels might be the one area where you would have, where you might have a slight advantage hitting great and having it still go in. But I have hit great with a Thorn, with a funnel, and it's also gone in. You know, if I played with a beginner club and somehow got like an awesome ball guide, you know, but only had like 10 accuracy, well then, yeah, probably wouldn't go in. But you're still going to have around 50 accuracy on Thor's hammer. I line up 4 squares from the hole with my Hornet 8 and drop it at least 95% of your shots. Well, damn. I don't know what your winning percentage is, Brian, but you're definitely better than me. I'm just saying, between my gameplay and everyone I play against, short iron shots are never guaranteed. Sure, if there's a funnel shot, you know, your chances go way up. Let's see here. What is that? We're going to call this 90%. Maybe 88. Damn it. I overdid it.
Perfect shot.
But it's so accurate, we might get a break anyway. Nice.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more counter.
I'll take it. I need drops. Well, I don't really need them. But anyway, I don't want to argue with you guys. You know, if you are playing awesome with a club that I say, you know, shouldn't be in the game or whatever, well, not shouldn't be in the game, but like, you named a second club. When are you, like, what are the, can we even name, you know, some of the earlier,
Perfect shot.
like, what clubs come before the Thorn and the Hornet? I know the Falcon and the Claw, right? Is it Falcon and Claw that come after it? Like, who's ever going to use the Runner? Is it? I think it's the Runner. Besides, you're not allowed to argue with me. I need to quote, hey, brother, where out thou? Or, oh, brother, where out there? Is you is or is you isn't my constituents. Apache. Okay, you going to use the Apache? You guys got me on a freaking warpath now. Don't you dare disagree with me. I'm using the Thorn. We have the Apache. Both go 90 yards. Awesome. Accuracy is actually pretty darn close one to the other. You get 100 topspin. But again, topspin is not something that you're going to want to take advantage of very often on short irons. You're especially not going to want to use a lot of topspin when you have a 3.5 ball guide. I don't feel comfortable with the 4.4 ball guide, let alone the 3.5. Why do I like the Thorn over the Apache, though? Even because, yeah, okay, so it's got more topspin. Technically, yes, that makes it a better club because it's there if for whatever reason you need it. However, I like the 100 backspin because a lot of times when you get higher up in tours or when you play expert or master tournaments, you might need a full backspin type shot with a very small green. Once again, curl is something that you're never going to use. I don't want to say never because you could be on the fairway with a tree right in front of you where you need to use like a full curl shot, but it's very rare to use curl with a short iron or a wedge or even long irons for that fact. But the 100 topspin might be a little bit more usable if it had the perfect ball guide. But you don't know where that's going to end up if you put 100 topspin on that. Kingfisher, I guess the Kingfisher gets good when you get it maxed out. But at level 6, which is 5 years of playing, I still only have 79 yards. Yes, I get great accuracy, not much topspin, decent amount of backspin. Again, 100 curl, who cares? And a slightly better ball guide than the last club, but I still got 0.4 more ball guide, which is a big deal to me. Next, the Runner. Laughable club. The power is not that great, giving you that gap, that red spot between clubs, putting you in between clubs. Accuracy, I mean, the difference between 57 and 66 is negligible. I mean, if they were identical except for that, sure, I'd use the Runner. But I'm not willing to give up the ball guide. Again, I could care less about the curl, and I'm not willing to give up the spin. You know, the backspin. The Runner, another club I'm never going to use. The Hornet, you know, we've already compared and contrasted. Yes, a 4.1 ball guide is a very good ball guide. Me personally, I would rather have the 0.3 ball guide over, you know, the 100% accuracy, just because taking away funnels, if you hit it great, not every hole's a funnel. If you hit it great, you're still going to miss. You're just going to miss by a little bit less. Still going to be a super short putt. Even worse ball guide on the Claw. And then Falcon, yes, I would be using the Falcon right now because I finally got it to level 7. But it takes forever. You got to play 5 years to get a Falcon 7. And there's also a Falcon 8, but you get the better ball guide. A 7.8, or I'm sorry, 78 backspins. Not quite as good as 100. You can't do those full backspin shots unless you have a headwind to where it might kind of curl around and bounce back in. I'm not sure. I'm not going to use the top spin. The accuracy is nice. And again, I'm not going to use the curl, but I would be using the Falcon if the notes didn't, most people don't have the Falcon that high, so they use a Thorn. Rant. Thorn is great in higher tours because you pull less rings because lower accuracy. You know what? You're 100% right on that too, Michael De La Cruz. There's a lot of times, it took me a long time to switch to the Grizzly and the B-52. I actually use the B-52 now in tour play, but I use the Grizzly in tournament play. But yes, with the Goliath, 55 accuracy, why do I like that? Because if I'm in a 12-mile-an-hour wind, I only got to make one pull. And that's the other good thing, I guess, another argument for the Thorn over the Hornet. And we'll just compare it to the Falcon, but the Hornet has 100 accuracy. So if there's a 12-mile-an-hour wind with 0 elevation, you need to pull 12 rings. So that means you have to pull twice. If I have a 12-mile-an-hour wind with the Thorn, I only have to pull 6-point-something rings. Is that a huge deal? No. Some people, sometimes better accuracy is more important. But for me, I would rather have a more accurate driver and a more accurate wood club, because those are the two that I'm most likely going to be overpowering, than a short iron. Let's open this real quick. All right, RJ, shut up. You only got, one more hole to go? Let's get this over with. All right, last hole. If you disagree with me, that's completely fine. Please, whoever makes their point in the chat, if you agree with them more than you agree with me, it won't hurt my feelings, I promise. This is just my experience vomiting out of my mouth at 11:34 at night on a cold February day. Push to max, blah, blah, blah. Okay. No, back up. I want to use the first bag. And we're going to use the Gator. There we go. What's up, Arthur? I don't know, Randy, because I use Ball Breaker's notes and he only makes expert notes. So I don't know, who uses what clubs, because I only use his. All right, max top, no side spin, 11.4. Pushing up to max. See, 10.7. It's a very accurate club. If the club wasn't this accurate, I would only need to do one pull. But at the same time, watch when I hit it. When I hit it, I'm going to be doing full overpower. And this is where the accuracy really helps me. If I had a 50% accurate club, normally I don't hit perfect on full overpower. I got lucky. If I have a full overpower club, on a club, if I have full overpower and I hit great or double great, I could be in the rough to the left. I could be, bad things can happen. Let's see. Got my boy Chris texting me. We have a news alert. Everyone, you guys come to It's RJ TV not only for the golf, not only for the conversation, but for breaking news update. This will only affect you if you're in the United States. President Joe Biden promises to replace retiring quarterback Tom Brady with a woman of color. You heard it here first. Thank you, Joe Biden. Progress. We need a woman of color as the next quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Perfect shot.
You know, it's just so stupid. I'm not getting into politics. I'm sorry. That was very funny, though. I love that. Oh, it's 50%, not 20. 50%. This is max. This is minimum. So right here feels like it's about 50%. If it's 52, 53, it should still go in. Maybe. This is where if I had a ruler, it would have probably, might have helped. I don't know. 7, 6. I don't expect this to go in, but if it does, bonus. It's better when you know your exact measurements rather than guessing.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more chowder.
All right, I'm going to take a turn with this. Chris just said I sent you the meme to keep the rants going. If you enjoyed the golf class stream, now might be a wonderful time for you to leave if you don't like hearing politics. But there is something that was weighing on my mind that I saw today, and then that I'm going to talk about at the, after the stream is over. And I also want to address what the meme was actually about. Just because Chris sent me the meme and wanted to keep the rant alive. This stream's only going to go on an extra 5 or 10 minutes, I would guess.
Perfect shot.
But again, if you're here just for the golf clash, I'm not going to talk about it till after we look at our score. But you asked for it, Chris. You shall receive it. Minus 29. Very nice. Tied for 6th. We don't have the best 29, but we do have a 29 nonetheless. This one's safe, so there will be weekend golf for at least one account. I'm gonna switch over to the other, take a peek, see. It's getting late. So we're going to be falling. There's not much time left for, people to be playing their tournaments. So if I had to wager, if someone held a gun to my head and said, RJ, you need to pick, and you need to pick right, I would wager that I'm not going to make it on this account. We just are not going to be able. We played great today, but with the disconnect on top of getting a par on the next hole and just basically making mistakes because I kind of fell out of my groove, we might already be eliminated. I don't know. All right, we're in 43rd. It goes down to, 53 now. I could easily see us falling those spots. There's still going to be a lot of people, like right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, like all these people could potentially pass us because we had such a crappy front 9. Here, I'll click on it and show you. So hole 1, all right. Hole 2, I got a disconnect. The guy I was playing against knocked in his putt knocked in a putt for eagle. I disconnected after my second shot. I would have had a putt for eagle, which would have moved us up even more, which would have been really nice. I think that one shot could have made a difference. But I'm just happy we didn't get a +1, because in the past they would just give us a bogey if you had a disconnect. I don't know if they changed. Well, obviously they changed it. But anyway, then after that, I fired the stream back up, and I had a rough bump on this par 3 with the quarterback, and I missed the rough and went into the rough on the far side of the hole and missed my Nirvana shot. And I made a few mistakes. So had I made both of those, we'd be at -27, and we would have been safe. Even a -26 would have been nice. Considering we're the highest 25, let's just assume we're somewhere, we would have been probably 27 through 30th. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Like I said, I'm gonna rant a bit. Totally not Golf Clash related. I just want to get some stuff off my chest that I think is unfair, and it will fall into the realm of Terry says, you are 43rd, room for 9 more, 20 left, at least 2 won't play, so I say make it in the bubble. I hope so. If I do make it, it's going to be super close. So I see some people are leaving. I don't blame you. You know, if you don't want to hear politics, you didn't come here for politics. So 2 things. First, I'd like to address in the meme itself, President Biden saying that he is going to bring a woman of color to be one of the next Supreme Court justices is just the most moronic thing I've ever heard. Why is it a moronic thing? Because I'm sexist? No. Because I'm racist? No. You're supposed to take the best and brightest. You're basically saying that out of all the people out there that are fit to do this job, you are eliminating whatever chunk it ends up being based on race and gender, the 2 things that you are supposedly fighting the hardest to have more equality on. How is it equal? Equality is not a pendulum that swings back and forth. Equality would be stopping that pendulum so it can't swing in the favor of one direction or the other anymore. But that's not what they're doing. They feel like they need to make up for lost time. Okay, well, we should have had a woman of color because maybe 100 years ago or 50 years ago, I don't know however long ago, there was a woman of color who would have done a perfect job here, but they said, oh, we can't take that person because that person's a woman of color. We need a man of no color. Okay, yes, they were morons back there. They put too many things into the race bucket and into the gender bucket, and they lost out. You know, we didn't have the greatest Supreme Court justices, or maybe there wasn't a woman of color available because women weren't encouraged to go to college. And same thing, with racism and things. Racism's definitely in our past. But that, it's in our present too. But I mean, clearly there was, something stopping women of color from being Supreme Court justices 100 years ago, clearly. But that's not the case today, and we don't need to make up for it because all you're doing is you're discriminating against women that are not of color, men of color, men that are not of color. Just, you want the best person for the job. The best person for the job is not a racist. The best person for the job is not a sexist. Okay? So we addressed that. Joe Biden, I already knew you were an idiot, but you just took it to a new level. If you were going to nominate a woman of color, you shouldn't have had a Tinker Tape parade for yourself for doing it with your signal virtuing of, I'm going to bring a woman of color in. Okay, so you basically just eliminated over half of the qualified people.
Come on, man.
Nope, it's true. The other thing that kind of bothered me today, I saw a video where Okay, so I saw a video that Disney's coming out with a live action Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And apparently they were saying that they were doing a wonderful thing. They're patting themselves on the back with more virtue signaling because they made Snow White a woman of color. I think they made her a Latino, if I'm not mistaken. And the problem is I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy from Game of Thrones is really upset at Disney because they're actually hiring seven dwarf actors to play the seven dwarves. So, he felt like, or he feels like it's demeaning, for dwarves to be, I don't know what the proper word is. I hope I'm not using an offensive word. I don't want to use an offensive word. He was basically saying, that's horrible for, the little people community. I'm not sure what politically correct word to use, but I don't want to offend no one. That's not why I'm having this rant. So they started focusing on that. Is it okay for there to be seven dwarf actors to star in a Disney movie and make a lot of money and be very famous and have the same Peter Dinklage, right? I think, to have somewhere to get their start. Okay. I got that argument. The thing that really made me upset, though, was something else. The thing that made me upset was they changed Snow White into a woman of color. Okay, Snow White is a white woman. I get that. I personally would have no problem if Snow White was portrayed by any woman. But what was it? There was a movie that was supposed to come out, and there was a white actor or actress that was supposed to play the part of like an Asian character or something like that. I think it was for Disney too. And everyone threw a fit and said, no, this is the problem with those white people. They whitewash something. You can't have a white actor playing an Asian person. It's not right. Okay, if you're going to play by those rules, why is it not okay to have a white actor play an Asian character? However, it is more than okay, and you get applauded and slapped on the back. You get, great job, Disney. You took that white woman out of there and you replaced her with a woman of color. Joe Biden would be all over you, praising you for how good. Man. It's true, Joe. It's true. And what this is that there's two different things. There's equality and there's equity. What they're practicing is equity. They're trying to say that one group needs a boost up. That's equity. Okay, so white person over here, you give up what you have. So this person here can be on the same level as you or whatever. That's equity. You shouldn't have to give up what you have. I don't believe in the white privilege or whatever. Maybe it's because I grew up in a black neighborhood and I'm the minority where I live. And, people are racist towards me, not all the time, but, I see racism all the time. And there's nothing I can do about it from time to time because, you look around the store and you're the only white guy in the store. And, so if someone wants to call me a cracker, or someone wants to call me this, that, or the other, I just need to take it and bite my lip or I'll get the crap beat out of me or whatever, depending on, what's going on with the crowd. That's neither here nor there. I'm just telling you why I don't personally see white privilege. Maybe if I was born and raised in Beverly Hills or something, I would see it. But would you ever see a man of color portray, I don't know, Hitler or a Nazi? No, that's a white man's job because everyone hates that guy. Hitler was evil, okay. But Snow White, she was beautiful inside and out. She could be replaced. And I just see this unevenness, and it bothers me. It really does. It's like, why can't either we're going to say it's okay to switch races in movies, which I think is perfectly fine. I don't care if an Asian person, a Latino person, or a black person plays Snow White. Where I have the problem is when you cast a white actor to play an Asian person and there's backlash and then you take that job away from them, and you're just, it breeds contempt. It breeds like, I don't know, it breeds more racism. It's like, this is the way that they divide you. They are trying to divide us. That's the whole thing with this. I'm not going to get into COVID. I said it'd be 5 or 10 minutes, but those are the two things that I wanted to say. Number one, you want to get a woman of color, into the Supreme Court. God bless you. But, don't eliminate women not of color or men of color or men not of color from the job, because a woman of color, if you have a long list of people who are qualified, let's say there's 10 people on that list, so it's not a long list. There's 10 people on that list, and the first woman of color is number 7. Do you think you're doing the country a service by picking the 7th best candidate when you're eliminating a man of color somewhere above there, maybe 2 or 3? You're eliminating a white female potentially right above her or right under her. You don't know. Or maybe a woman of color is number 1 on that list. And if it works out that way, then that's the person who should get the job. But you don't open your mouth. The other thing is that woman of color that is going to be the next Supreme Court justice, how is she going to feel? Man, I got this job. Like, of course, when you first get the job, you're super happy. Thank you. It's wonderful to be the first woman of color here on the Supreme Court, or, one of the first women. There's is it even the Supreme Court? Because don't they have that Sonia Majordo, or I can't think of her name, but isn't there like an Asian American woman or something that's on the Supreme Court? I can't think of her name. I could be wrong. I don't know. But regardless, after you have the job for a little bit, you're going to think to yourself, man, I went to Harvard Law School. My parents mortgaged their house so I could go to high school, or not high school, but so I could go to the best colleges. I studied as hard as I could. And then I got this job, one of the best jobs I could ever land, solely because I was born a female and because I was born with a different color skin than what most of the Supreme Court justices had. I honestly, is this person going to be happy they got the job? Absolutely. But you can't tell me that if this happened to you, that in the back of your head, you wouldn't feel the same. And, we could tie let's change things around. Let's pretend all of America is like Cleveland, Ohio. The white people are the minorities, right? How good would I feel if Playdemic came to me and said, RJ, we want you to be our next spokesperson or our next person on, for Golf Clash, because we don't have enough male representatives and we don't have enough white people. White people are marginalized and everything. Would I take that job? Yes. Thank you, Playdemic. I accept your job. I'd love to cash those checks. But in my head, I'm thinking to myself, man, if they didn't need someone to tick certain boxes, they probably would not have picked me. And even though I got the job, that would be one thing from making me feel like, oh my God, like if my name was John Roberts or, like, I don't know all the justices' names, but, any one of these justices that came before this person, even the people of color, man, woman, no matter what it was, I would feel perfectly fine because no one said they were specifically going to pick a person of color that is a female. I'd be like, they just picked me. Whatever president was in when they nominated me here, I'm happy to be here. But this one person coming up, this female of color, is going to have that. They're going to be like, was there another female that was better than me? I don't know. I got the job because of who my parents were, because God made me, this color. I got this job not only because I was this color, but also because I was born a woman. I don't know. Let me look through the comments, see if there's any people that disagree. And first of all, before I do read through the comments real quick, I am not a racist. So if I see any racist comments or anything, I'm not going to read them. I'm not trying to get people to go, yeah, man, I was just thinking, you know what? They need to do this, that, and the other for, white power and all this other. No. I hate racism. I hate racist people. My thing is I don't want to say I have the courage, because it's not like I'm a hero or anything like that. I'm tired of the double standards. I want there to be zero racism. I want there to be equal opportunity for everyone across the board, regardless of age, sex, race, religion, whatever. But I'm just gonna go really quick, just to see if there's anything that, if someone challenging what I was saying, because, if I'm wrong, okay, I want to hear how I'm wrong, and you might even be able to pull me over to your side. The last justice picked was a judge for less than 2 years. Jonathan Johns, one thing I don't think is right is that there's political, like, the president should not pick the justice. If anything, I almost feel like an AI should pick the justice based on, whatever criteria you put in the AI. Republican presidents and Congress are always going to pick more right-leaning type judges, and liberal are always going to pick more liberal. And the justices are not supposed to be political in any way, shape, or form. They are there to, to follow the Constitution, So anyway, Disney had one non-white princess. She was on screen as a black woman for less than 5 minutes. Sotomayor, thank you very much. Okay, well, that sounds like a Disney problem. If Disney has 50 princesses, from past stories that they've told, first of all, you already set a precedence by telling that white actress or actor that they're not allowed to portray an Asian person, because that's just wrong. That's whitewashing. And that's where the Seven Dwarves kind of fits into it. They're like, okay, we're not going to do Seven Dwarves. Maybe we'll just CGI them in there because we don't want to be offensive. But you're taking a white princess and you're patting yourself on. So you're patting yourself on the back for the same thing that you're taking away on the other side. Seven Dwarves should be represented by Seven Dwarves. No, that's offensive. A white princess should be, replaced by, a non-white princess. Yes, pat yourself on. You're talking in two different directions. You're being it's hypocrisy. You're being a hypocrite. It has been that way forever, but it's not fair. So it could be that way forever. It'll be like that long after I die, but I would like my kids, my family, and anyone who remembers me to know that I saw something that I didn't think was right, and I spoke my mind out against it. No, isn't Soda... You just said everyone on the Supreme Court is a white man, though, right? No. There's a black man on the Supreme Court. I can't think of his name. And that's Sonia Mayorga or whatever. U.S. Supreme Court. Members, current members. So you got John Roberts, white guy. You got Clarence Thomas, black guy. You got Stephen G. Breyer, white guy. Samuel Alito. I don't know. He looks like a white guy. Alito could be Spanish. My thing is, who cares? but I don't 100% know if Samuel Alito is white, half white, a quarter white. I'm not sure. Sonia Sotomayor clearly has an Asian look. Maybe it's a Pacific look. I'm not sure. And it's a woman. And she wasn't told, hey, you're getting this job because you're a woman of color. Congratulations. High five. She earned the job. Alina Kagan, you know, just from looks like a white woman. For all I know, she could be a woman of color. But, you know, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna assume. Neil. Oh, is that an associate judge? Or is there? No, they all say so. Okay, so yeah, Neil Gorsuch, white male. Brett Kavanaugh, white male. Amy Conley Barrett, white female. Sandra Day O'Connor, retired. Okay, so that's where it ends. So what is that? 2 or 3 females, 2 people of color. So yeah, it is a majority of white people. And whether they got there fairly or not, I don't know, because some of these people are very, you know, a lot older than myself. So maybe they were nominated before I was born, and maybe, you know, they're like, oh, we need a white man in the Supreme Court, and nothing else will do. But I don't know. That's all I got for you. So no, the Supreme Court is not nothing but white men. And I just got a funny look from my wife. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? And Disney is hypocritical on one news story. White woman played by a woman of color? Yes. 7 dwarves played by 7 dwarfs? No. Not cool. All right, I'm enjoying myself. Let's see. Chad Clemens, 100% agree. It needs to be on merit. Not everyone has equal opportunity to earn that merit. Others have incredible advantage towards achieving that merit. Again, we have 2 or 3 women? 3 women, I think, in the Supreme Court. We have a black man. We have either Pacific or an Asian woman. You know, I mean, is it the black dude? I'm not sure how long. I forgot his name already, and I'm not sure. Was it Clarence Thomas? Justice Clarence Thomas or something? I don't know. I don't want to be disrespectful if I can't think of his name. But you know,
Good boy, dude.
I feel like that's kind of like proven wrong. Like, you're just assuming that every white person that has the power to promote someone to a position of authority is racist by making that comment. If you want to be fair, like really fair, you know, you would have to look at it in percentages. What percentage of the United States was white during this time? What percentage of the United States is male? But I don't want our Supreme Court to be picked based on, you know, on numbers, on, you know, whatever these numbers say, because if you lose your Latin American woman, you're going to have to replace her with a Latin American woman. Otherwise, your stats are going to be all skewy. I wouldn't care if the Supreme Court was all people of color and they were all female. If they were the best people for the job, that's exactly what I would want it. Clarence Thomas, thank you. So you can't assume that every person who nominated and got a judge through is racist. Was 1 or 2 of them racist? They could be, but you can't just assume that. Yeah, they're all associates. I just learned that, Jonathan Johns, thanks. I feel like I missed one. Harrison, I agree with you. There is no equal opportunity until we all actually are equal. And right now, you're pushing down one group in order to prop up the other, and that's not right. I say prop everyone up. what do you think about the racial wealth gap? Ooh, I haven't really studied much on that. I mean, I'm educated in the things that I'm educated in, and I'm not educated in the things that I'm not educated in. What little I have seen was more based on men and women with a pay gap. And from my understanding, the women that have a pay gap is because they're working less hours. And that if you actually did hour to hour or whatever, the numbers are either equal or women are actually getting paid a little bit more. And I know this doesn't cover everything, but one example would be the WNBA players are very upset that they're not making the same amount of money as the NBA players are. When in actuality, in a way, they're making a lot more. Or maybe this was Olympics. I can't remember exactly. The reason that they are making less physical money in their pockets. But in terms of people buying tickets to go watch the product, they're getting a much bigger share from the owners than the men are getting. You know? So from that standpoint, you got to look at all the facts. You know, are women making less than men? Well, maybe they are, but why? You need to find all these answers. You know, if a woman can't get paid as much of a man because she can get pregnant, and you know, she could either be gone for good or she could be gone, you know, for a year and a half, that's not fair. You know, you need to make accommodations or whatever. And if the woman is really good at her job, they're not going to want to replace her, you know? Okay, Jonathan John says, unfortunately, you need to do a little more homework on the Supreme Court, and that Barrett was a Trump donor. Well, then shame on, I don't know what more work you want me to do. I'm not going to like dedicate my life to learning everything about the Supreme Court. What I know, which is an average Joe type of, you know, like I didn't go to college to learn about the Supreme Court. But, you know, I just pulled up some facts. Someone asked, was it you even? I'm not sure. That said, aren't they all white men? I mean, and clearly they're not all white men. Barrett was a Trump donor. Okay, well, that can go two ways. One way it can go is, was he a Trump donor and also the best person for the job? It's possible. It's not likely, but it's possible. The other side of that coin, though, is shame on Trump. Trump is not a white guy for every white guy. Just because Trump might have taken a donation from someone, been like, I owe you a favor, I'm going to stick you in the Supreme Court. Does that mean I agree with it? No. You know, you can't, you know, that's one guy. Do I think Trump is racist? No. Do I think the media paints him as racist? Absolutely. Do I think that Trump is perfect? Do I think Trump, you know, all his tweets were necessary and everything? No. He made a lot of mistakes, but you know what? Some of the greatest presidents made a lot of stupid mistakes. But yeah, I'm not going to go to college so I could have a debate on, not trying to sound snarky, Jonathan Johns, just saying I'm not going to go to college so I can be the best debater. And Barrett being a donor does not look good. I will tell you that right off the bat. Do football and basketball get the job on merit or race? Sam, I do believe they get the job on merit. Now, one thing that bothered me, though, which I'm really happy I saw your message here, is I heard them say in the NFL, there's not enough black coaches. And that goes right back into what I was saying with Disney and what I was saying about the Supreme Court justice, you know, case. And that's the other thing about the Supreme Court justice. Just for a second, I'm not trying to be, you know, like, I'm not trying to say what the best thing for the Supreme Court is. I'm trying to say what you're doing is not fair. You're picking someone, you're limiting your pool and you're picking someone because they were lucky enough to be a certain color, a certain gender, and born at a time that makes it, that they were able to get their diplomas and be ready to be a Supreme Court justice because you became president. Do I think there needs to be more white football coaches? Well, I'm sorry, not more white, more black football coaches. If you have a white football coach, who was that coach of the Jets that they couldn't wait to get rid of, or the guy that decimated the Texans? O'Brien, Gacy, people like that. If you live in those cities, you're probably going to be like, yeah, because clearly there's people out there that can do a better job. But again, just to solely say, hey, we're looking at your team right now. Let's say that you have a horrible coach, or you have a good coach who's getting ready to retire. Do you want the best possible coach coaching your football team that you cheer for every Sunday? Or is it okay if you take maybe the third best coach or the second best coach or maybe even the fifth best coach because, he has a certain skin tone? At what point, we have female referees. I'm sure there's females out there that can coach football. When are we going to have a woman of color coach in the NFL? It's not fair that we don't have one. Okay, well, I would take a woman of color to coach the Browns if we didn't have Kevin Stefanski. I think he's the best coach we've had in a long time. But if you're telling me Judge Sonia Mayorta or whatever, whoever, would make a better football coach, I want her, So no, it should never be based off of race or merit. And if you're talking about a job of the actual players, I just honestly believe that black people obviously are better at shooting a basketball and than a lot of white people are, and I'm happy that they don't say, okay, look, the NBA is 85% black players. We need to make this more equal. We need to have Asians, we need to have Latin Americans, we need to have Caucasian, because then you're not putting the best product out on the floor. So am I mad that the NBA is overwhelmingly black? No, that's how you get the best product out there. But if if this all black team or nearly all black team has a white coach, who cares? If he draws up the best plays for these players, I don't even think the players care that much unless they got a crappy coach. Yeah, I liked I don't know if I like Bush Jr., Bush Sr. I was really young for Bush. So, okay. So, is that bad that Clarence Thomas was a Bush nominee? I'm sorry, my chat's jumping up and down on me. Yeah, Jonathan Johns says there have been... And I know I'm reading a lot of Jonathan Johns, but he's commenting the most, so that's why I'm replying to him the most. There have been agendas based on all the selections. 100% agree. Does that make it right? No. Do you think that we should continue to let agendas... is that what you're saying is, yes, agendas should continue to be the driving point behind our Supreme Court justices? I would argue no. I would argue that's something we should change, and I think you would too. I agree on diversity, but when it comes to leaders and military personnel, I think rank should be decided by ability and merit. I don't care if you have a chest. You shoot better than it's if you shoot better than the next guy. Exactly. That's why, I'm not a big fan of affirmative action. And a lot of people aren't fans of affirmative action that are people of color because they want to know that their comrades that work at the station, the firehouse, are happy that they got the job, or a policeman or whatever, an auto mechanic, whatever. I don't want the best woman of color mechanic to work on my car. I want the best mechanic to work on my car. And that's how everything should be. I don't care if you're a janitor or if you're a Supreme Court justice. Yeah, Harrison, I don't know what you're saying, that the best are not diverse. I don't think anyone's saying that. All I think most people, most sane people in the United States and across the world would say we don't want any race or gender to determine who is best for this position. Yes, you're going to have those people out there go, oh, great, we got a woman president. Watch out once a month, during that time of month, she's going to want to bomb. Those are not, either they're joking and, haha, laugh at them. Comedians always tell jokes that, you got to offend someone. But if they're serious about it, they got problems. If a woman president would be the best president ever, a woman president of color would be the best president for the United States, put us right back on top, put a huge gap between us and China, brought back manufacturing and everything else. Does that mean I'm going to want more women of color? No. It means I'm going to want more people like her. And I don't care what their gender is or what their race is. Hey, Carol Bentz, I'm sorry. Someone wanted to hear me rant. If you want to watch the replay, that's fine. I'm about to end it now anyway. I just, someone wanted to hear my take on a couple things, so I gave it. And I warned everyone, I'm like, if you're here for the Golf Clash, go ahead and, check out. I was going to tackle a couple issues with my opinions. And that's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to shove it down anyone's throat. So if you're here for Golf Clash, I finished both rounds. I think one account's going to make it. The other account, I'm not certain. So, maybe the court should look like America. No, Jonathan Johns, I couldn't disagree with you more. What you are saying, in my opinion, I'm disagreeing with you. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just disagreeing with you. If you're saying the court should look like America, what if at this moment in time, right now, all the best justices are black and Asian men and women? That would not look anything like America. And isn't that, I'm fairly certain that if these individuals that I just named were fair, which we know they would be because they would be the best. You can't have a bias if you're not, if you are the best. You just, two can't exist at the same time. So I could care less what color you are, what race you are. Do I think the Supreme Court should be 50% female because the U.S. is 50% female? No. It should be 95% female when 95% of the women are better fit than men, and it should be 95% male when 95%. Chris, it's cool, man. I really liked your meme there, though, but it got me thinking about two things, and those were the two things. Let's see. Jack says Supreme Court should be people that understand the original intent of the Constitution and uphold it. Jack, that's what I said at the very beginning of this rant. Me and you are obviously on the same page. Harrison says, RJ, sounds like you're pretty against the idea of affirmative action in general. I am, Harrison. However, I am also against discrimination. So I hate affirmative action and I hate discrimination. Do I think that you should hire someone based on their color or their gender? Absolutely not. Do I think that a racist boss should be allowed to hire someone based on their race or gender because of capitalism? It's their business. They should be allowed to hire whoever they want. Well, I do believe that they should be able to hire whoever they want. I think once you cross the line into racist or sexism, that there's got to be some sort of protection available, because there are racist people out there. It's not the woman's fault, or it's not the minority person's fault that they were born that way. And ultimately, it's the business owner who's going to lose out. You're going to take once again, just like Joe Biden pigeon-toed himself, you're going to take the best candidate and toss them away because they're a certain color and a certain gender. You're no better than Joe Biden. And, you know, you might love Joe Biden, but I'm just saying the problem with what Joe Biden did is he just took his list and ripped it, you know, in half or whatever. All right, Philip, I appreciate you, bro. My mama hates discrimination. You're right, Fuzzy Elf. They now have age discrimination because they want someone who can be there for 40 years. Right, exactly, Jonathan. That falls with what you had mentioned earlier about everyone having an agenda. The best justice might be an 80-year-old man. Is he going to get the job? No. Why? Because he may only be in the Supreme Court for 5 years, and what happens if a Republican wins the White House next time? You know? They're not... All right, I'm going to... God, I don't know if I should open this can of worms. I know Republicans love me because I'm mostly conservative, but I'm not 100% conservative, and a lot of my conservative friends actually call me a liberal. Now, they know I'm conservative, but I'm like the most liberal conservative they know because of certain things. You know, but, you know, liberals look at me and they go, oh my God, you're a conservative scum. And my conservative people look at me and go, oh, you're not conservative enough. And you know what that tells me? That tells me I'm perfect the way I am. I'm not in any party. I don't want to be in any party. Both parties are corrupt. Both wings belong to the same bird. But the point I was getting to is this. I do believe the United States has a faulty system in place right now, having a two-party system. I don't know how to fix it. It might be the best that's available. But the reason why I think the United States is going to fall to a country like China economically and militarily, and not only China, but there's going to be more countries to come, is because we keep spinning our wheels. This is something I believe. If you hate me and unsubscribe me because of it, so be it. I'm just being honest. The problem with the two-party system that we have is we get a Republican in the office and he does very Republican things. And then he serves 4 or 8 years, and then we get a Democrat in office. And he undoes almost everything the Republican does. And then he sets his own agenda. And then 4 or 8 years later, he goes out and we get another Republican in. What does he do? He undoes. So all the progress we could be making as a country, every time we nominate someone from the other party to get in, we don't lose everything, but we lose a lot. And that drives me crazy. Part of it is so much because the Democrats and the Republicans hate each other so much. You know, like you can't stick them in a room together without the claws coming out. And as long as we have that division, as long as Republicans and Democrats can't come together and agree on a lot of things, and agree to disagree on the things that they, disagree on, our country is in trouble. A lot of countries are going to pass us because we take 2 steps forward and then we take 2 steps back, and then we take 2 steps forward in this direction. Someone else gets elected, they take 2 steps back, and then they take 2 steps forward in this direction. And instead of moving forward a mile, you're still at that same place. You're still on that same sidewalk going, no, I want to go this way. You have enough power to take 2 steps that way. Then someone else goes, no, I want to go this way. So we're just standing in an intersection, doing this for 8 years or 4 years at a time, moving nowhere. And that's my biggest problem. All right, I'm going to read 2 more comments and then I'm going to head on out, because while I love talking, I'm going to start, if I probably already started, just, it's no longer a coherent talk. I'm just kind of rehashing things with different words. Sam says, I owned a business for 25 years and always hired the best for my company. My best employees or women, and half of those, were women probably, and half of those Asian and African American, which I hate saying because I want the best human. That's exactly what I say, Sam. I'm with you 100%. I hate saying African American. I hate saying, Asian American. I hate saying Hispanic American, African American, all those. We're all just Americans. We're all immigrants. We really are, except for the natives. So why do you have to put that tag in front of you? I don't want to be like, hey, I just hired a woman today. No, I just hired another employee. And I'm really excited about, when they start, what type of ideas they could have to improve sales. I could care less the color or their gender. Chris, you're 100% right. You're either with us or against us. And both parties practice that. The only thing a pres can do is create executive orders. They can't make laws. Congress has given the executive branch too much power. Jack, that's not, you're not wrong, but we do see a lot of times, you're 100% right, but you do see a lot of times when a Republican gets elected, it's because the public at large is angry with the Democrat, or they had enough of them. So, Trump for a while there had the Republican Congress himself. And by Congress, I'm also saying, Senate, Congress, both. I mean, both of them. And then when they start to get sick of them, then all of a sudden you'll have a split house. You get the filibuster. You can't get nothing done. And then, they get even more angry at the president. And then regardless of whether the president was Republican or Democrat, they're going to get voted out because they did nothing. They were a lame duck. But then the problem is, then they bring in a new Senate, a new Congress. You're 100% right. It's the Congress and the senators that make the laws and stuff. But if it's 50-50, remember who gets the deciding vote. What's up, Tom Sawyer? Yes, we all bleed the same color. We're all humans. Can you imagine if you owned two dogs, a white dog and a black dog, and they hated each other because of that? I mean, we're the only ones that base stuff on that. And again, I'm not saying, I'm talking about, the guy who lives in West Virginia Hills that, is just like your typical racist person. What's up, Drew IV? I'm just wrapping up a political rant. The golf clash is over. If you wanted to watch the replay, you're more than welcome to if politics bother you. There's racism everywhere. There's racism in plain day. There's racism and sexism with Joe Biden, with his, I don't know how many times he said the N-word. I think they could find it or whatever. But now he's embraced. He's like the champion of, I don't know. Who was it? I think Obama was president, and he was giving a speech. And during his speech, he said something about 7-Elevens and Indians. You can't go to a 7-Eleven without an Indian, owning the place. And I'm just like, Joe. Really, Joe? I mean, but it's not even just comments like that. It's Disney. It's media. It's stuff like that. Why, this is going back. Why does Disney pat itself on the back for getting rid of an evil white woman and replacing her with a good Hispanic woman? There shouldn't be any of that. There's actresses, there's actors. The problem is we can't get rid of racism 100%. You can cancel people for being racist, but if someone is going to be racist in their own mind, they're going to keep it to themselves. They're going to be quiet about it. And they're going to only hire white people, but they're going to give to charities and everything else that makes them look different. There's nothing we can do about those people. What do you want to do? Take them to the gallows? I mean, unfortunately, there are just people like that. The only thing you can do is not support them. Unfortunately, we are, Drew. We're just actually wrapping it up. I was just, I don't know, if you wanted to rewind it, you could catch the whole thing. It's kind of long-winded and a blowhard. But, basically I was just making a point about the Supreme Court justice, the limitations Joe Biden put on himself by saying my nomination is going to be a female woman of color. Are you then saying that you do not want the best person for the job? Now, a woman of color might be the number one best person, and if it works out that way, great. But you're taking that coin flip out of it. It might not be. It might be a man of color. It might be a man. I hate that term of color. It might be a clear man. Is that what we are? Clear? I don't know. White's not a color, I guess. It could be a white woman. But you know what? You just eliminated all those people. And then the other thing that got me mad was Disney was patting themselves on the back for saying, for saying that they casted a woman of color for Snow White, but then they turned around and they decided they're not going to hire 7 dwarfs. You okay, pup? They're not going to hire 7 dwarfs to play the 7 dwarfs because that's hurtful to the dwarfs, according to the guy that played Lannister. I don't know what the politically correct word is. I love you, Fuzzy Elf. So anyway, I was just saying, okay, so are we going to have a woman of color ever play Adolf Hitler in a World War II movie? No. No, we're not. Why? Because that's an evil, a deplorable person, that we would never want to associate with that. But it's okay to have a white person do that job, right? Yeah, it is. I mean, so you're basically, my problem is, don't say that you're whitewashing something, because I think it was a Disney princess movie or something, or a Disney movie or something, where they hired a white girl to play an Asian person, and then they wanted to cancel that, and then so they fired her and they hired someone who was Hispanic, or not Hispanic, I'm sorry, Asian, to play an Asian character. And I think that's ridiculous. You should be able to have the best actress. But the reason why I'm having a problem here, why they replaced a white woman with a Latina woman, is because of what they said before. Because they said, oh no, you can't have a white woman play an Asian woman. Now they're saying, hey, guess what we did? We canceled a white woman and we have a Latina woman in her spot. It's like, the hypocrisy is just insane. But anyway, yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'm sorry if I turned any of you guys off with my political feelings. This is why I try not to talk politics while I actually play Golf Clash. But, I gave fair warning. I'll see you guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and hopefully I'll see you guys, God willing, in this weekend. And honestly, all I want is I want all racism and all sexism to just go away. And that means the mainstream stuff where you carry a tiki torch. Uh-oh, I have a polo on. And you say, we will not be replaced. Those guys, get them out of here. But also the people at Disney. The people who say, the president. And I'm not picking on him for other things. I'm picking on him for this. I want you to be the next Supreme Court Justice. Me? Why? Because you're a woman of color. You mean I'm not the best person for the job? That's not important. Anyway, guys, I'm signing off.
Come on, man.